Hey guys, Custom Godzilla 94, and today I'm doing a little tutorial video on how to make custom beams. And the beams to talk about is for like SH monsters. Like, let's say you got right here the Custom Godzilla 1994 because you can't afford SH monsters. He's a pretty good figure, standard, great articulation for a $20 figure, but no breath effect. Well, in this tutorial, I am going to be trying, also forgive me if this tutorial is pretty crappy, this is my first attempt, going to show you how to build a beam out of just a glue stick. Now, noted you will need some other supplies, but if you want an example of my work, I got the SH Monster Arts Kiryu right here, and he comes with a ton of accessories but no beam, so making this tactic, I built him an absolute zero cannon. Now, I am not going to be building something this big. This was a pretty big thing for me to build because it has to mount right on his chest where it's firing like that. Now, this was supposed to be made to look like an ice blast, and in my opinion, it did a pretty good job. Now, this is all done with a glue stick, and I'm going to be showing you how to do this in this video. But not this, not this. If you want to know how to make the absolute zero cannon again, ask for that in the comments below or not. But today, we are going to be solely focusing on how to make a beam for the Custom Godzilla 1994. Now, in this video, you're going to be needing a couple things. The first thing you'll need is obviously a glue stick. Next thing you'll need is a low temperature glue gun. Not a high temperature, a middle, or anything like that, a low temperature. Because you don't want to melt whatever you're making. You're going to need a thing of water, paper towels, and for the start of this, something similar to a bobby pin. Now, with the bobby pins, which, again, just something similar to a bobby pin, before you want to do any of that, you want to let me move Kiryu and the absolute zero can out of the way. Take your figure. This is all going to depend on the way you want the beam. I'll turn it sideways so you get a better view. Now, if you want to have a long beam, like this is the length I'm going to be using, just a standard glue stick. If you want it longer than that, like double the length, just hot glue a glue stick to the other glue stick. If you want shorter, take something like a pair of scissors and just cut it. I'm keeping it the standard length. For example, the absolute zero cannon, if you look, it's longer than the average glue stick. That's because I kind of doubled up. I went the normal glue stick and cut another one about that long. But we're just going to be sticking with this. Now, we're not going to be focusing on molding the part that goes into his mouth yet. First thing we're going to be focusing on is actually making the effect. So, I'm going to start off with a clear glue stick. I got two different types. They're exactly the same, just one doesn't have any print on it. So, I'm going to start off with this. You're going to want to do something very simple. You want to take your glue stick, take your glue gun, and sorry for any background noise, and simply just make a line. Nothing fancy. Simple line. And the water comes into play here. You may be saying, oh, but do I have to wait for it to dry? No, no. You can actually dump a glue stick with hot glue in water and it insta-freezes. I had no idea that will do that. Also, I have a paper towel here so I can dry it off. Yeah. So now we have our base starter line, and his mouth is going to go here. And basically, what you want to do is just keep going off of that. You want to just keep making lines until you have a basic, a basic line. Now, I'm just going to be focusing on this. Half of this will be sped up. Just going to start off like that. Dip it in water. That way it's cooled down. Just like that. Now you got a starting layer. Now, for Godzilla's effect, or at least for the absolute zero cannon, if you want this kind of break apart effect, this like thing, then do what I'm about to do with the bobby pin. If you don't want that effect, don't even watch this part, I guess. But this tutorial is gonna make this beam kind of be a smaller version of this. So what you're gonna want to do is basically what I was doing earlier. So, be right back after the montage. Now, what you're gonna want to do, once you got the beam like this, pretty much, this is how I'm gonna start off, is to add that effect. Make a line, simple line. This is where you need the bobby pin. You're gonna want to take the bobby pin and just pluck at it. In doing this, I didn't add a lot, so it's not gonna have this effect a lot. I probably should have added more. Oh, that was about to drip on my hand. Dodged a bullet right there. If you look, since I started plucking at it, starting to get that little effect going on where it's starting to break away. Now, just like normal hot glue, just dip that in water, just like I'm doing. Gently dry it off because you don't want to break up the effect. And boom, we're starting to get some texture. So basically what you want to do is do this little effect all around the beam, but don't layer it. Don't like do this. This is finished product. I don't know why I keep showing that. I'm proud of it. But basically, you want to layer it. So, I'll be right back once I finish doing this. Now, you look, got the basis of our beam. Got Godzilla here. Probably should point him sideways. It's perfectly in his mouth. If it doesn't fit in his mouth, just take some kind of X-Acto knife, shave off a bit until it fits in his mouth. But I really am not going to be displaying it with this. But you see, fits in his mouth. The next part is adding color. Now, for paints, for a Godzilla paint like this, you're gonna want some type of a dark blue. For example, I have right here. Also, we don't need the glue stick or the glue gun anymore, so go ahead and unplug that or stop using it. Whatever you choose, we don't need these anymore. Now for mine, if you're making a bigger beam like this, you're gonna have to do another step. What you're gonna have to do after this is you're gonna paint it. Paint it whatever colors you want, then glue over it again, and then paint that with dry brushing and normal colors, and it'll get something like this. For this, we used a metallic, I don't know why I say we, damn, I'm starting to sound like those weird people. Anyway, I used a metallic blue base, you can see like right there, piled it on with more hot glue, and then added white dry brushing and a different color metallic blue than this metallic blue. Then I used clear coat, so it stays solid, and boom, absolute zero candy. Now onto this, gonna want to paint it. Now, we don't have to do more than one layer on this because, personally, I'm satisfied with that looking like Godzilla's atomic breath. Hell, just comparing it, I don't know, it wouldn't really look good in laser cannon. Anyway, let's get the paints out. Now, if you look right here, you got 3 different color paints. You got the generic metallic blue, the light metallic blue, and then what I did over here was mix them. Now, what you want to do is you want to take this, and you don't want to full on brush it. You want to some of that paint off. Take your beam. Now, it's all preference. Just get a blue that you like for example, I like this blue. So just take this blue, start brushing. Now that we got our painted beam, easiest step you're gonna have to do. Wait about a day or an hour, or just wait until the paint dries. Once the paint dries, I'll go into the next step. Alright guys, it's actually been a day since I've done this, and as you can see, it's completely dry. This is what we got so far. I can't exactly get the camera to focus. This is what we got so far. It's Atomic Breath Blast. I think it looks pretty good so far. Now, all we gotta do now is, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the beam just like this. Let's say you're not. Let's say you want to add some white or some blue or some other color. What you would do basically is take your paintbrush. Actually, no. First off, if you want this larger, just add more hot glue, then do it again. If you want to keep it the way I have it, don't do anything. If you want to add more color, then once the original color dries, just take a paintbrush and dry brush it. This is full-on paint. This isn't a lot of dry brushing. I honestly don't want a lot of dry brushing on it. I am very happy with this color. So if we take our Godzilla 1994, make sure I got the right end. And once I got the right end, just place it in his mouth, like that. Now, it's not going to go in all the way. If you want to go in all the way, you're going to have to do the other thing I said, which is take an X-Acto knife, which I don't have one on me, and basically cut this down to fit exactly in his mouth. But if you don't want to do that, boom. You have the NECA Godzilla 1994 firing off an atomic breath beam. And I actually very like the way this beam came out. Now, this will work with other figures too. Like I said, just simple, place it in the mouth. It stays in there pretty well. Don't shake it like crazy if you're gonna do that. Now, like I said, if you want to add any highlights, just get some white or some other color. If not, just keep it looking like that. And I just moved my light. So if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you want more tutorials on how to make custom beams, leave a comment below asking for a specific type, like, can you show me how to make the Episode Zero cannon? Can you show me how to make Gigan's beam? Any kind of beam you want with this method. If you want a tutorial on that, on how I do it, just leave a comment below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.